Over there we've got Hyde Park here in Sydney, in the CBD. And in that direction over there, we've got Oxford Street, which just comes off Liverpool Street. Here is one of the many entrances to Hyde Park. Up there in the distance you can see Centre Point, which is one of the tallest buildings in Sydney, if not perhaps the tallest. You'd have to check that one up. And that's on Pitt Street in the CBD, but there's loads of shops and businesses and stuff. Here we've got a famous cannon, which marks one of the entrances to Hyde Park. And it commemorates the destruction of the German raider Emden by the HMAS Sydney. Hello there, welcome to Sydney. We're in Hyde Park right now in the centre of the CBD. I thought I'd show you a few of the sites in and around my city. Behind me we've got the famous Australian War Memorial, the one in Sydney, which is the focus for Anzac Day celebrations on the 25th of April every year, marking the Gallipoli landings. And it all takes place over here. People when they get married come to Hyde Park, help celebrate the weddings, etc. Over there we've got St Mary's Cathedral, which is the main Roman Catholic cathedral here in Sydney. What a beautiful building. At the moment they're counting down to the Pope's visit on World Youth Day, which is happening in July. We've got the famous David Jones department store, which is, I suppose, Sydney's equivalent to, say, Harrods, etc., Harvey Nichols. You can get many designer labels there from around the world. In fact, they've got a brilliant food section too. Go check it out. I know they didn't pay me to say that. Right over here we have the headquarters of Channel 7 on Martin Place. Martin Place is part of the financial district. There you see a city bus, where there's a lot of shopping around the area and businesses. And often you'll see this on TV and used in films. It was also featured in Superman, Martin Place, and other movies, and many commercials. But this is right in the heart of the CBD. There you can see the view right down into George Street from Martin Place. Here we are, just outside one of the very well-known museums in Sydney. Let me show you a little bit more detail. This is all part of the Museum of Sydney. An absolutely fascinating museum. Gets Sydney in excellent detail. Find out a little bit about it. Here we've got the Museum of Contemporary Art. You get a lot of modern art exhibitions. Some really brilliant exhibitions actually. I've been to a couple. So it's a great place to visit. That's here on Circular Quay. We're on Circular Quay here in Sydney. And here's where all the ferries go to places like Manly and across the water. Many people go to work on Queen Ferry every day. And over there we have a building that needs no explanation. The Sydney Opera House. Performers from all over the world have performed there. I think it's a remarkable building. Absolutely beautiful.
Anyway, right? Okay, ladies, shut up, because you don't even have one. I'll count to 3. Look up, get the bike straight, so it's underneath me, won't be as heavy. Push back a bit. Okay, hold it. What's your name again, sweetie? Zoe, that's right, good memory. Zoe, if you see me falling towards your head, I probably am. So don't just do this.
Okay, right behind me is one of the most iconic and, in my view, beautiful buildings in the world, the Sydney Opera House here at Circular Quay in Sydney. An absolutely great place if you want to do a harbour cruise, of course. And you can see all the ferries over there. You can also do things like jet skis, you can go on those fast jet cat type boats. We've got buskers all over the place, as you just saw a little bit earlier. He's still doing all his bicycling, and would you believe it, it's sort of a late autumn, early winter here, and the weather is beautiful, almost cloudless skies. In fact, in that direction, absolutely cloudless, no cloud at all. Blue, as well as piercing sunshine.
Is this 90 days without TV?
That's it, not too much rock, it's on your head.
Over here we've got the Sydney Rocks Market. The Rocks is one of the oldest parts of Sydney, and it's called the Rocks because it was actually built on rock. There we've got the markets. They're open every Saturday and Sunday at weekends. I hope you enjoyed your little tour of Sydney just now. We've seen quite a bit, particularly Hyde Park, the War Memorial. We've seen the Sydney Opera House, the Harbour Bridge just about. We've seen quite a few places, and finally here we've ended up at the Rocks Market. Definitely worth a visit, my favourite city, and I hope you've really enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.